Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio for this? Maybe so. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it is time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. Just what we need. Well, anyway, this morning we had a heck of a lot of news, economic numbers come out. So, I don't know how many new people we have in here that need a little reminder that we try to pay real close attention to when these news numbers come out, because it can certainly affect the market. And if you had your system brought up this morning at 8:30 Eastern, when quite a few of these started to hit, we had three pretty good ones: the unemployment rate and the NFP change and the average hourly earnings. Those are very important, and those are significant too, following this speech that Mrs. Yellen made, because the better the numbers are, the more likely she is to decide to raise the interest rates. And they did that in December, and the stock markets and which are the underlying of these indices that we like to trade, they said, you know what, this doesn't make us very happy. And so all of January it was kind of very, very sad. And now they've gone back up again this morning. These numbers caused these markets to really move. Also, some of you trade the Forex pairs, and the euro-dollar pair this morning moved significantly on these numbers. So be sure you check the news tab on the Apex website, because there are trades available posted on there for what time you put them in and what the strategy is, if you haven't looked at that. We had, interestingly enough, the Aussie dollar responded to these this morning and took a 30-minute underwater dive. I mean, it really went down, and now it's taken it a while, but it's come back up again. Crude oil seems to be, for the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3 hours, in a bit of a very tight range, and it's choppy. If you look at the continuum bar chart, that's right, the I zone, and see all these yellow candles in here, this is just, and it's going up and down and everywhere. This is, you can scalp that if you want to. I don't, but it's possible, and people do it, and they do it very successfully. So if that's something you're interested in, it's available. But thinking there's going to be a trend after this, about 6 o'clock, this thing started up here about 5 in the morning. That was a nice trend. And then we had another one right about 8:30 that went down to about 9:30. And after that, this crude oil's been pretty difficult to trade. Bonds moved and responded to these numbers this morning too, and so there were some nice trades, first going up and then going down, and now it's making its way back up again. Keep in mind that getting into a bond trade right about now is probably not the best idea, since I believe that closes at 1:30 or 1:15, 1:30, I think. And gold does also. But the electronic trading keeps going, but the volume tends to drop out. And we have not had a lot of volume. That's another thing. Gold has had some volume, but everything else has been a little light on the volume, which it makes it more difficult to trade. So if you're new and you're kind of struggling to figure out how all this works, in all those training videos that you watched, Daryl keeps over and over and over emphasizing how important volume is. And volume is what makes the bus go. So when we don't have any volume, it makes it much more difficult to trade. We have the VIX back down below 14 again. It's trading 1382, and it was a little bit higher earlier when these indices were headed down. So next week, today's the first day of April. So you start your April month today. And Monday, we don't have a lot of news. There are a few things that come out, the numbers on Monday morning that are not too significant, and they're not until 10 o'clock. But on Tuesday at 8:30, that is the Canadian trade balance, and that's tagged to be more significant than the U.S. trade balance. They come out at the same time. So be aware of that, and always check these before you start trading to see what happens. 10 o'clock on Tuesday will be some economic numbers reports. Wednesday's not too much except for crude oil. And Thursday we have a little bit, but Fridays are the days when they release more. It's just the first trading week of the month. It's a little lighter in the news release numbers. So maybe we'll have some nice trend trades, but do pay attention to the international news. One of the things that may be affecting crude oil now is some of the reports from the Saudis. They are going to put up at least 10% of their oil in a public offering, but they'll, of course, remain in control of 90% of those shares. But I've noticed that Iran is announcing that they've been a holdout on whether they would cap their production. And of course they said, oh no, we're not going to do that. Well, now they say that they would if everybody else does. The Saudis will cap theirs if Iran and everybody else does. Not too much chance of that happening, I don't think. So the markets may respond to that. Certainly crude oil may next week. I think that's about all I see. We've had lots of people posting trades, and that's really helpful. Be sure, if you're new and you don't understand how to use Jing yet, that's a freebie. There are screenshots in the forum of how to use that and work that. Put that at the top of your priority list to get very familiar with, and use the weekend to practice with that thing, because it not only can you post your charts in here for feedback, and Lori has a great saying, you don't know what you don't know until somebody points it out to you. So if you're having trouble with anything, by all means make a screenshot and put it in here and get some help with it, because it's almost always it's some little teeny thing that you just either didn't realize, or you've got a setting that's a little off on your chart. But the great thing about that is it Jing maintains a library of all those screenshots for you. So you can go back and study your charts if you take shots of your charts and stuff. You can go back and mark them up, and you can go back and study them, and you can study other people's also. So it's an extremely useful tool, and it's a freebie. We all need to have that, definitely. I think that's about it. I hope everybody has a wonderful and a safe weekend. And I understand Daryl will be back on the radio Monday morning at 10 o'clock. And if you've never watched that, he's able to broadcast a workspace with that radio show. It's, I don't know, it's closed circuit TV or whatever it is. I don't understand how all that works. But anyway, while he's explaining stuff, you can see the visual of what he's talking about. So it's not just like a radio where all you have is the audio. There is a visual component to it also. And the link for that is on the website. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And I'll see you all back in here on Monday. Thanks.